Why does your cat suddenly freeze, dilate their pupils to the absolute maximum, and stare intensely at a completely blank wall? You probably laugh it off. You think they're just being goofy. But the truth is, there's nothing random about it. You'll be shocked to know that they're actually locking onto things your human senses could never even begin to register. In this video, we're counting down 11 strange things cats can see, hear, and sense that you absolutely can't. What you don't know about these hidden abilities could leave you completely baffled the next time your furry friend acts like they own a different dimension. And trust me, you don't want to ignore this. The final sign will blow your mind and might just change how you sleep at night. Number 11. The built-in night vision system that defies logic. It's 3 in the morning. The moonlight is barely scraping through your window blinds. The room is dead silent, and you can't see your own hand in front of your face. But your cat, they're navigating the clutter on your floor like it's high noon. The real meaning behind this midnight marathon lies in a layer of reflective cells behind their retinas called the tapetum lucidum. They aren't just seeing in the dark. They're literally recycling every single photon of light. When those big glowing eyes flash in the dark hallway, they're taking the faintest glimmer and bouncing it back through their eye a second time. They have 8 times more rod cells than you do. So while you're stubbing your toe on the bed frame, they're watching the dust particles settle on the carpet. But that's just the beginning, because what they see in the daylight is even crazier. Number 10. The invisible ultraviolet world. You're completely blind to a massive spectrum of light that your cat sees every single day. Cats can actually see ultraviolet light. Imagine walking into your living room and seeing neon glowing pathways across the floor. That's what your cat sees when a mouse or an insect leaves a microscopic trail. Researchers have found that biological fluids absorb UV light and stand out like glowing neon signs to a feline eye. So when your cat is laser focused on an empty, seemingly clean corner of the kitchen, they might actually be reading a glowing, fluorescent map of chemical trails left behind by a spider or a rodent from 3 days ago. You think the floor is clean, but their UV vision tells a terrifyingly different story. Number 9. The radar ears. Have you ever watched your cat's ears suddenly twitch and swivel around like tiny satellite dishes tracking an invisible enemy? They're doing exactly that. A cat's hearing range puts any high-tech home security system to absolute shame. While your human ears cap out at around 20,000 hertz, your cat is easily picking up frequencies soaring up to 65,000 hertz, but it gets more intense. They have 32 individual muscles in each ear, allowing them to independently rotate those radars a full 180 degrees. They don't just hear a sound, they lock onto its exact coordinates with military precision. When they stare at the ceiling, they're hearing the high-pitched, ultrasonic scuttling of a beetle inside the plaster, or the humming electrical current of the wires running through your walls. You hear silence. They hear a deafening symphony of hidden life. Number 8. Infrasound warnings before disaster strikes. This one is genuinely unsettling. Have you ever noticed your cat pacing the floor nervously, their tail flicking back and forth, acting paranoid for no apparent reason? Don't ignore this. They might be picking up on infrasound. These are incredibly low-frequency vibrations that fall entirely below the threshold of human perception. We're talking about the deep, rumbling shifts of the Earth's crust, the friction of tectonic plates, or the atmospheric pressure dropping from a massive storm system that's still dozens of miles away. Long before your local weather app sends a notification, your cat's body is vibrating with the silent roar of an approaching disaster. They're essentially a walking seismograph reading a warning sign written in a frequency you'll never, ever hear. Number 7. Thermal scanning like a predator. You might think your cat curls up on your chest at night because they love your personality. The biggest mistake owners make is romanticizing this survival instinct. Cats are exquisitely sensitive to temperature variations. They have specialized thermoreceptors heavily concentrated around their nose and lips. In a freezing, pitch-black room, they don't even need to open their eyes to find you. They can actually sense the radiant heat blooming off your skin from across the room. To them, you aren't just their human, you're a massive, glowing red infrared heat lamp in a sea of cold blue furniture. This sensory adaptation helped their wild ancestors locate the body heat of warm-blooded prey hiding in the dark brush. So yes, they love you, but they also love that your body temperature is a toasty 98.6 degrees. Number 6. The three-dimensional whisker map. Most people think whiskers are just cute little hairs that make a cat look adorable. You're completely misunderstanding their anatomy. A cat's whiskers, scientifically known as vibrissae, are deeply rooted, highly sensitive sensory organs packed to the brim with nerve endings. They're so sensitive that they can detect the tiniest, microscopic shifts in air pressure. When your cat sits perfectly still in the dark, they're feeling the air currents bouncing off the sofa, the coffee table, and your legs. A slight change in the breeze tells them exactly how large an object is, its texture, and whether it's moving. They're basically creating an invisible, three-dimensional radar map of the entire room without even taking a single step. Number 5. The Jacobson's organ. Have you ever seen your cat sniff a blanket and suddenly freeze with their mouth open? You are completely misunderstanding this. This is the Fleeman response. They aren't just smelling, they are actively pulling microscopic scent molecules into a hidden sensory system called the Jacobson's organ in the roof of their mouth. Through this, your cat decodes pheromones, illness, and the complex emotional residue of anyone who recently walked through your door. They are literally reading the invisible chemical autobiography of your entire house. Number 4. Hyper-peripheral vision. Compared to your cat, you have extreme tunnel vision. While human vision caps at 180 degrees, a cat's field of view stretches to a massive 200 degrees. The truly terrifying part is their ability to catch the absolute microscopic flicker of movement. A single speck of dust drifting or a tiny shadow shifting 2 rooms away registers with a blaring intensity you don't possess. They are constantly monitoring a massive threat radius. This is why a laser pointer turns them into a completely different creature. You are hijacking a million years of predatory evolution. Number 3. Emotional chemistry. A lot of people believe cats are cold, emotionally detached creatures. That is the biggest lie in the pet world. Cats are hyper-attuned to your internal emotional state. When you come home after a terrible day and your cat suddenly appears, it's not a coincidence. They actually smell the cortisol, the stress hormone, seeping from your pores. They detect the subtle shifts in your body, chemistry, and heartbeat. Your anxiety literally changes the way you smell. They sense this chemical alarm bell ringing and make a deliberate choice to ground you. Number 2. Earth's magnetic fields. This is where things get quietly extraordinary. How do cats find their way back home across dozens of miles? Science is uncovering that cats possess an advanced ability called magnetoreception. Deep within their biology, they have an internal compass tied to the invisible magnetic fields of the Earth itself. When your cat is staring blankly into the distance, they might not be daydreaming. They could be orienting their physical body to the ancient planetary grid. No human technology has fully replicated this navigational instinct. Number 1. The paranormal overlap. The final sign that keeps people up at night. It's 3 a.m. The house is completely still. Suddenly, your cat sits bolt upright, fur standing on end, and lets out a low hiss at an empty, dark corner. They are tracking something moving that isn't there. Science confirms cats perceive a reality layered with invisible information. Combine their ultraviolet vision mapping glowing stains, radar ears picking up ultrasonics scuttling in the walls, and thermal sensors feeling cold drafts. They are experiencing a terrifying sensory overload. So, the next time your cat snarls at an empty space, the real question is, what exactly is standing right next to you? Are you truly alone in the room? Or are you just completely blind to the unseen visitors that your cat is staring at right now? You have been living in a completely muted version of reality. blind to the chaotic world your cat navigates every day. Understanding their extraordinary senses decodes their bizarre behavior. But knowing what your cat senses is only half the battle. In our next video, we are exposing the everyday habits secretly destroying your bond. Get your daily dose of Meow Logic by hitting subscribe right now.